Thank you for joining Curative's annual Friendsgiving event. My name is Joy Gravis, and I'm the president and CEO of Curative. I'm honored that you're here. Tonight, you're going to hear stories from each of our 5 business lines about the profound impact that Curative has on our families and our clients. And I hope you're as moved by those as I am. In addition, we have a silent auction, so please click the link and bid on the items, many of which were generously donated, some by our employees, some by our affiliates, and some by friends of Curative. So please bid. If you don't feel like bidding on an item and you'd like to donate, there's an option to do that as well. Before we share our client stories, I wanted to give you an update about some of the things going on at Curative. For example, we earned a deficiency-free Medicare survey at our Curative New Berlin Therapies location. We continue to celebrate that we have a 3-year CARF accreditation. We have doubled the size of our Children's Long-Term Support Program and many other successes. In addition, at the end of 21, we sent out an employee engagement survey. Our employees responded resoundingly. Those results were rolled up and provided to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and as a result, we earned Top Workplace of 2022. Lastly, before we get started, it's that time of year of the annual appeal. So in the upcoming weeks, you're going to receive the annual appeal letter, our annual report, and in there you'll hear more about the client stories you'll hear tonight, along with our client satisfaction scores, which are incredible, and a listing of all the things that we've been able to accomplish in the last year. We hope you enjoy the annual report. Curative's Birth to 3 program specializes in working with children with disabilities or other limiting conditions. Services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy, education, as well as family service coordination. These services are often provided in the child's home. Tonight, you will hear about Addie from his dad, Ryan, who works with our physical therapist, Sammy.
So Addie is going on 2.5 now. He is just absolute force to be reckoned with. He makes his own path and he follows it very strictly, and if you try to get him to deviate in any way, he will let you know. He is got such a strong heart and such strong willpower to accomplish his goals. It's absolutely inspiring.
Atlas has been an absolute joy to work with. He shows up consistently ready to work every week, and his parents are great with carryover and even brainstorming ideas to bring back to the team.
Addie was diagnosed with cerebral palsy shortly after about a year old. Specifically, he was diagnosed with spastic diplegia, so that has presented a lot of problems for him, specifically all the way from he was really late to crawling and sitting up to and now we're working on walking. He's still not walking, unfortunately, at 2.5. In addition to that, he also was subject to in uterine growth restrictions, so he has really low muscle tone, and that has presented some problems for him as well. With Birth to 3, he wasn't in occupational therapy. He's only been in physical therapy with Birth to 3, but before that, he was in OT and speech therapy as well, to kind of try to work on some of the problems that he has. But he hasn't let that stop him in any way. He is doing incredible. He's meeting so many milestones, social and fine motor, and the way he works with things mechanically is just super inspiring, even though he's been held back in other areas. And even though he still just works so hard every day at trying to get better at walking and working on his legs and everything, it's really incredible.
He has made significant progress since coming to our program and is working on walking by himself. His diagnosis of cerebral palsy does not hold him back in the slightest, and he approaches life with so much spunk and joy.
So there's not a session where Mom or I are not part of it. We literally sit with Sammy, our therapist, or Atlas's therapist rather, and work with her and Addie through all the exercises that we're doing for that day. And then she shows us how to do them so we can keep doing them at home as well. We also talk extensively about what are Addie's goals and what's the best way to accomplish them, especially with Addie's also got like a pediatric rehabilitation specialist he sees, so coordinating with her on different treatments has been really effective and very helpful. Sammy's made the process really, really easy. And then also things like just being able to contact our PT at any time like if we have a question, Eddie's changed his behavior for a certain exercise or something, we can just send a text or text a photo or something, and Sammy will give us tips during the week. So it's been really great, really flexible, and I don't think there's been a point where we've ever felt lost or without direction.
I look forward to many more sessions with such an awesome kid.
After watching that video, it's obvious when a team comes together, including the family, the sky is the limit for kids like Addie. Now we're going to turn our focus to our commercial services division. This area of the company employs people with all different abilities, and we're proud of that. Tonight, you're going to hear from Jeff and his mom, Sandra, about the profound impact having a job has on Jeff's independence and his confidence.
He's 56. He pretty much has been him and I for quite a few years right now. We don't have to go to the first life, but his dad left us, so you know that. And he has 4 other siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Very involved with his younger brother, who has 2 little kids that adore him, and he adores them. Spends time with them a lot, because his brother is a coach, and so we go to ball games. And anyhow, he adores these 2 little kids. They're a very important part of his life. That's why I bring that up. Learned that he really was very teachable, and picked up the skill of the lawn crew. He started actually there on the lawn crew, and he started at a very, very low level where he did very little. And eventually, as each year went by, he was able to learn more skills. He just blossomed as far, and very proud of, now I can use a weed whacker, now I know how to put oil in a weed whacker, and now I can push an electric lawnmower, and I different skills that they were able to teach him, and he took such pride in that he had like every other man, he had an occupation and something that he loves going to work. So I think what this program has given him is pride and just having a purpose. He feels like he has purpose. He's very much pride in what he does and what he's learning. And for me, the most fantastic part of this program is that he not only goes to work and he does a job, has a specific job to do, but he has still the proper supervision that he needs. I don't have to worry about him when he's at work, and they do it so well. They're such wonderful, wonderful people. The people that work in these programs, they're not necessarily there for a paycheck. They are there because they love what they're doing, and they give their heart and soul into their job to make life the best they can for these kids.
Jeff is an amazing team member and a dedicated employee. We are so lucky to have him working with us at Curative. Curative's Children's Long-Term Support Program specializes in getting resources to families who have children with disabilities or other limiting conditions. These resources could include camp, a modified bathroom, a modified van, respite services, or in the case of the story tonight, a bike and respite services. Tonight, you're going to hear about Jed from his mom, Ann, and the resources that our CLTS program were able to align with her and her family to make a difference in their life.
Hello, my name is Lauren Sennett. I had the opportunity to work with Jed and his family for just over a year as the Family Support and Service Coordinator with the Children's Long-Term Support Waiver Program through Curative Care.
I got Jed on to the birth of 3 after he was about 6 weeks old. Then when we transitioned from the 3, 0 to 3 to 3 through, the regular IEP points, that's when I kind of got Jed into that to try to supplement some of the stuff that we could not afford, but definitely would benefit him.
In that time, Jed's family and I collaborated to determine specific goals as well as services that would assist in meeting those goals. One of the services Jed currently participates in is equine therapy, which allows him to work towards his speech and language development, as well as occupational and physical therapy-based goals. Jed also currently participates in swim lessons, which helps him to learn important water safety skills. The family utilizes respite services so parents can receive a break from caregiving duties while knowing Jed is well cared for.
Oh, I just knew right away, with the child with Down syndrome, that we needed to start early on to try to get as much intervention. Down syndrome is a spectrum, so we wanted to make sure that he got as much therapy and support as we could early on, because that's the crucial time for him. Therapy for his social development, language development, physical development, everything, to try to help him to be the best kid he could be. But like some of the fun stuff he's gotten is, like when he was younger, being with Down syndrome, he didn't have a problem with language. We signed to him because I teach deaf children. My husband's deaf, so. But for him, signing is like his first language, and so his speech isn't as clear to other people. He really needs the toys that will encourage this, and he wants to play house and play store. And I was able through the waiver to get a little tech house, and it was for communication. This is perfect because he needs a tool. We were able to get him swim lessons, early on. And that was super helpful. But then, back and forth that would come and go. But now we have it again, and he's swims at some Tastics in Waukesha. He just graduated to the deep end, where he's actually swimming, like actual swimming strokes. We tried to teach him how to ride a bike. We really did. We tried with the scooters, gave him the balance, but it just didn't work. And by the age of 10, I'm like, this kid needs to learn how to ride a bike. Everybody else rides a bike. And we got an adaptive three-wheel tricycle. And and it has a little back on the side of it, like a little basket. And we live near Greavy's up in Lincoln, so we can ride down to the Jackson Park. We ride out to Greavy's. I have my running shoes on when I'm doing this because he can really go fast. They make it so it'll fit him for the rest of his life. And now our new fun thing is I was able to get the YMCA membership for family. He and his older brother and older sister are his respite care providers. They say on the private side, I can't get stuff done that I need to get done, but then he also gets to get the benefit of hanging out with people that I can trust, who that know him, and he's safe.
It has been such a pleasure working with Jed and his family, and I'm looking forward to continue hearing about the progress he makes with Curative Care and the CLTS waiver program.
Curative has 4 adult day programs in the Milwaukee and Waukesha County area. These programs have clients attending up to 5 days a week, doing goal-oriented activities that promote independence. Tonight you'll hear from Michael and his mom Stacy about the profound impact that the adult day program on Fond du Lac Avenue has had on his life.
My experience working with Michael is he's a happy person. He loves helping one another. He loves trying to take charge. He's just an all-around person.
My personal opinion, he's like the best son ever. Didn't really start talking until close to the age of 5, and with speech and well, I think that's only speech therapy. His speech just took off, and he hasn't stopped talking since. Because he has a brother that's autistic, that's nonverbal. He's his brother keeper. He makes sure his brother is taken care of. He's so helpful, and he's a people person. Everybody who meets Michael just fall in love with him because he's such a sweet, kind-hearted, caring person.
So that means I like covering and being social. Yeah, I'm nice and friendly here.
Do he enjoy going to Curative? Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness, yeah. He always has something to tell me when he get in.
Before the pandemic came, he was kind of like I guess he was trying to get to know the program and what he used to do before he came here with Michael. But he had a job, and he would come in and he would share some things with us about what he did on his job. And I guess at that time we had a lot of other people that was on his level, and they wanted our jobs, and he would come in and tell everybody what he did on his job. And I think that helped him encourage some of the other participants to want jobs and ask us how we get a job, and we want to work too. So yes, I saw a growth in that. Just being himself, he's just a down-to-earth person.
Loved to cook, loved to draw. He loved hanging out with his grandma.
I'm a big fan of Derry. Derry be liking checkers. Yeah, all we be doing is beating up on each other. I be winning 2 games, and he be getting lucky and winning 2 games.
He's a good guy. He's always want to know, how are you today? Renee, you look so pretty today. I like your outfit. And just to hear that, it just makes your day. You know, what else can you ask for? I think we all have a passion for our clients here. And we just want the best for them. We want to see them to achieve and just live a fulfilling life.
I can attest that Michael is an incredible individual. Thank you, Stacy, for sharing his story. Finally, tonight, you're going to hear about Curative New Berlin Therapies, our outpatient pediatric clinic. The services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Very often, physicians refer to this clinic because of the specialized training and approach these therapists and team members have with our families. Tonight, you will hear from Danae, who is Torin's mom, about the progress that Torin has made at Curative New Berlin Therapies, as well as from Emily, his occupational therapist.
Significant delays, they had concerns there, but we did not think autism was in the picture at the time. After we graduated at birth to 3, we went to Curative, and since we have joined the Curative team with speech and occupational therapy, my son has been able to communicate and understand the world way faster than I could alone.
Many would describe Torin as a very active kiddo. In terms of occupational therapy, I would describe him more as a sensory seeker. He was one that was, jumping in the waiting room, running around in the waiting room, couldn't sit still. And then after intervention with occupational therapy, we were able to get him a sensory diet that was better able to assist his sensory needs. And so during our treatment sessions, we incorporate a lot of fine motor on the go activities. So you'll see us jumping on the trampoline and doing a puzzle, or going down the slide and putting pegs in a pegboard and then climbing back up to give him that movement that he needs while also maximizing his attention and engagement.
Curative has done so much for me is to educate the parents so I know how to, follow through with my son and build a bond and a bridge of communication with my son.
Some of the goals that we worked on in occupational therapy were to get parents involved in meeting Torin's sensory needs outside of the clinic, so providing mom with education regarding what is this intentional input that he seeks out. So they do a lot of heavy work at home in terms of pushing, pulling activities, jumping activities, and then he's able to better pay attention at a tabletop task or participate in more of a structured activity after he has that intentional input.
And we did try for 2.5 years. But we saw more improvement when Torin would go to Curative for those 2 hours every 2 weeks. Right now, he's working with Emily there for occupational therapy. We're also doing food tolerance as well. My son also has laryngomalacia, which is the weakening of the jaw and vocal cord areas, which prevents him to eat certain foods or certain textures. So they've given me a lot of tips and trades. I'm just glad they give me my homework. I got a lot of that clarity at Curative.
Torin's mom is one of his biggest advocates. She's always asking questions, eager to learn new strategies and techniques. If something's not working at home, she's very collaborative and communicative with therapists to be able to better develop a plan that works best for their family.
With Emily, I learned about the reactions of Torin as far as his sensory overload. So she helps me understand that, certain stimulations to my son can be overloading to him. And without her, I would have never known any of these things. Don't be afraid to ask questions about what you need and what you're looking for in your results. What's most important at home for you to help that child be his best self. And that's where Curative has come in. They help me decipher what is priority needed for my son to succeed and grow at this time. I absolutely adore Curative. The staff is always friendly and warm and inviting. And I just really appreciate Curative for who they are as an entity.
That concludes the testimonial part of our program. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to jump back in and make a bid. Our bidding closes at 8 o'clock. Additionally, in the next couple of weeks, you'll get that annual appeal letter along with the annual report. In there, you'll hear more about the stories from tonight, see our client satisfaction scores, as well as a list of things that Curative has accomplished. Lastly, if you're a new friend to Curative or if you've donated in the past, I hope you understand and feel the same pride we do in being a part of something so special. Your donations allow us to do what we do, and we are proud to say we change lives for clients, for families, and the community. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, our clients, our families, our team members, and myself, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us, and thank you for being a friend to Curative.